Lawmakers will decide what to fund, but Ohio's treasurer wants to make big changes in how to fund. Robert Sprague says he's looking to innovate, calling his plan Results Ohio. It would support addiction, infant mortality, water quality, and other public health challenges by paying after those projects wrap up, putting the focus on success and results over the lowest bidder.
We think that for innovative new things where they're tough to solve problems, let's think about the heroin epidemic, for instance, in the state, where we have sunk almost $1 billion a year into treatment, that there has to be innovation that occurs so that we get higher recovery rates. And we think that there's an innovative way where we can pay for results on the back end and leverage some private innovation that occurs in the private sector, and we pay for the things that work instead of just putting more money down the same pipe.
But how do you get someone to buy into that? How do you get someone to say, I have a plan, I'm going to do it, and maybe you'll pay me at the end?
Well, you'd be surprised at the number of treatment providers that internally are measuring the results. They're getting great results. They're doing things differently. But you know what their problem is they don't have enough money to expand, or they can't get the state to pay for the things that are working and that are producing the results. And so with Results Ohio, what we would like to do is say, look, if you're able to raise the money in the private sector to try a pilot program, we'll measure the results at the end of the 2-year pilot program. If it moves the needle and gets over that hurdle rate of what we expect in terms of producing recovery, then the state will buy back, let's say it's $1 million to run that 2-year pilot program. We would buy back that $1 million plus a small rate of return at the end if you're able to produce those results. And the nonprofit organizations will be fantastic at this.
Now, do you think that this is something that the treasurer's office can launch? Because it sounds like something that's the job of the legislature.
You're absolutely right. And we were asking for some enabling language right now to create a fund that could pay for these type of projects on the back end. But at the end of the day, the legislature and the governor's office needs to decide what the public policy priorities are that where you would use this type of a financial instrument on the back end.
Well, you mentioned the opioid epidemic. Are there other projects this could be applied to?
We think that, anything that you want to take the guesswork out of in terms of a new government program, so it might be something that is measurable, obviously, and also a tough problem to solve for our state. So it could be algae in Lake Erie, it could be infant mortality in Columbus or in some of our other urban areas, but anything that's measurable is a good candidate for this type of Results Ohio program.
Ultimately, you are kind of funding entrepreneurship and bright ideas. Is that it?
It's an intersection where we reward entrepreneurship and bright ideas in the marketplace of Ohio, and we say, look, we would like to pay for those programs because not only are we doing the right thing and solving a public policy program, but at the end of the day, we'd like to transform the system of the way the state of Ohio pays for things to match that program that's producing better results.
And what kind of reaction are you getting from lawmakers?
It's been great. We have a bill sponsor, Don Manning, in the House, and Senator Steve Wilson in the Senate, and they've been terrific advocates, and so far it's been nothing but positive responses.